All right, guys, I was on my way to the blind and show you the food plot and stuff. And of course, one of our pockets, the fence bust. Literally, like the whole thing, actually. It's kind of hard to see the black mesh. It's on the ground here. But basically the whole thing is down. This weed barrier is messed up. Look at our trees. Ugh, these big ones I really liked. They were growing good. It looks like the other ones are holding up pretty well. I knew probably snow and stuff like that would maybe have an effect, but look at this poplar. They shredded. This willow, they rubbed and bit every single thing off. And this, they also rubbed and started eating. I wonder if they even started kicking this up or it's just the wind, who knows. But yeah, basically this whole net is down. Man, they demolished that. And then this would have been our fourth one right here. And doesn't look like it's doing too well. Actually, there are little flowers. Oh no, it's completely, they just mauled it over. I kind of wish I had a camera on this. I mean, obviously who would have known that would have happened, because we now went from what would have been 30 cuttings to 2 that may or may not make it. So I think, guys, what this would tell me is that instead of this Tractor Supply, it was the $15 7-foot tall net. I think I would maybe go with, like, man, there's netting over here. I wonder if there's a deer with the antlers and this mesh stuck. I haven't got one on camera yet. I don't like garbage laying around either, but I'm starting to think maybe there's going to be some deer with some netting on their antler. I can't believe every side came down. They must have got in there and started jumping around. And sorry if I lost my train of thought. There's this snow fence, you know, that plasticky, like, construction looking fence. I know they have it in like 4 foot plus. I don't know. This net's down too. I don't know if they make it taller. It'd be nice to have at least a 6-foot fence around. But it seems like, I think Jeff's getting away with the 4 foot and stuff like that, so it's not too bad. I think though that thicker, that plasticky material is going to work a lot better than this kind of finicky. You know, the weeds tend to start to pull at this, and it moves a lot more. And I don't think that construction fence would be as bad with that. It'd just be kind of a heavier material. So I just walked to the next one, and I see our poplars and willows, but this is down. That's mostly down. It's down over there. It is down right here. I'm honestly surprised these still have leaves and are standing. I'm wondering, yeah, how many of these pockets now this barrier. It lasted almost all summer. I mean, it was going well. I wasn't too critical on, you know, this netting. It was not super expensive, but I thought it would do the trick. I didn't really think about the weeds pulling this variety down. Looks like might have gotten a little bit of rubbing. Oh gosh. Oh, for sure rubbing that. Man, they're probably in here at night just tearing this up. So yeah, it's down in most spots. And some of the little cuttings, they pretty much, some have some flowers at the bottom, but they haven't done too much. Oh, this branch is broken on that willow. Oh, these were $15 at cutting, and they're already some 6 to 7 feet minus all that's been nibbled off now. it's kind of bummer to see right before the season starts. And I'm not going to have enough, nor do I really want to be out here. Nor do I really want to be out here just before the season, you know, doing all this other work. So I'm going to check a couple other pockets. Not really sure what else I will do. If not, hope they make it. But if they keep rubbing it like they already have been, they could be very well just gone for the season. So let's go to the blind, the plots, start getting the rest of our work done, and maybe check out a couple other pockets as we drive around, and say a little prayer for me. Hope they make it. All right, plot is looking pretty dang good here. This is our power green side. There is some radish. It's kind of a narrow gap here, so I think the brassica gets a little more convoluted in the small areas, but as we go farther, it definitely spreads out more. You can see a little bit more of the buckwheat and hairy vetch and more of the power green side. And even, guys, you know, a lot of this this fall buckwheat and stuff, the deer are still hitting it pretty hard. So, you know, just because I know we plant buckwheat a lot for our cover crop and stuff, there's a reason too why we have a little bit mixed into our power greens blend, just for that early, you know, nice new growth, I should say. So again, you can see more, you can see some of the clovers. Probably not going to see too many peas and beans. They're probably already picked, but this is what a lot of our rye is going to fill in. And this does get kind of sandy as it gets to that little corner here. But our rye fill a lot of this in. And then the brassica side, you guys can see that, some nice tracks. You can see that the canopy is a little bit heavier with these turnips and radishes and things like that. So the rye might not grow quite as much on this side, but that's okay. It's still going to help me a lot in the spring. The rye is cheap at about 20 bucks per bag, so I got 5-6 bags to put out. I'm going to go to the far end down there, the little pass-through plot where we set up the tripod, if you saw that, and start there and kind of make my way all the way around and be done with the rye. So I'm going to get to work on that. I don't know if I'm going to have any B-roll or nice things for you guys. I just kind of want to get the work done, to be honest, as the work adds up. So sometimes not the prettiest videos, just time-wise. The other thing I wanted to mention real quick that I find pretty important, especially when we're designing parcels for clients, you can see this plot ends. I dropped some of these trees. I did add some cuttings in there, and, you know, want to fill the rest of this up. If these nets will ever stay up, fill some of this more with things that we've talked about for quite some time now. This used to be a linear plot all the way back to the far edge of the woods, and what I ended up doing is making a little bit of a gap and leaving that as a pass-through plot back there, separating it and then starting it again right here and having my blind. And it's doing a couple things for us. One, I love linear plots. They have their place. We put them a lot on client properties, but I really try and create a balance for people where we're still pushing the deer in the directions we want to go. We want the deer to go to get to our stands, but we also don't have too many deer sitting out in areas that aren't pinches. And not that every spot's going to be a perfect pinch, but aren't places we can't shoot, especially if you're a big archer. And I don't know if you remember, I had that far side, I'm trying to think, not the grunting buck that I had, but just a couple other, I think it might have been a short too, where I had, you know, a few bucks and a couple nice 2.5-year-olds and just some deer I let pass, but a couple nice deer, and they'd come right on the other side of this island, but it was still 100 to 150 yards from the far edge. And they would a lot of the times come out and they'd be sitting right there in the middle, like they know what they're doing, especially as the deer get older. And so to combat that, I'm leaving a pass-through plot with the tripod on the far side. I'm leaving a gap, maybe a mowed trail, that path of least resistance we like to talk about, and then picking the food back up right here. That's going to be within pretty dang good range of my blind. So we're still flowing the deer out this way to our holding plot. The strategy still fits very well, but I am using some of our linear strategy while also breaking it up at times. Maybe one for where I think the deer are going to be coming in scent control, and just to pull them to the next piece of food so that I can get a shot opportunity and they are not just sitting out for so long where we can't shoot, because then dark might hit, we don't get our opportunity, and that right there can make or break our hunt. Just on our way to do a little seed. It looks like this pocket here, this one side is down, the rest of these are up. I'm wondering if it's, I don't know if it's the weed pushing these, or maybe it's another animal or coyotes trying to get in here for cover. These trees look good. Looks like that pocket over there is okay, over this little switch pocket that I have. And farther that way, I don't know. I only see one or two of these tall ones, so definitely becoming an issue, unfortunately. But I'll try and get this one back up here, grab a couple zip ties that should protect this pocket at the very least, and maybe a few others. This is that pass-through plot I was talking to you about, surrounded by switch. Got our tower over there. I think it looks pretty dang awesome if you ask me. I actually had a picture of a coyote head, and I think they pawed or messed with this camera a little bit. I was pretty surprised. Maybe they fell on it when they were playing, I don't know. But the very next couple days or what have you, it was bent over but still running, so thought that was kind of interesting. Wanted to show you, but okay, time for rye. This is the slowest seed rate on a machine. When I'm doing rye and stuff, I like to throw it out heavy. I don't want to be making multiple passes. This is the least complicated spreading you can pretty much do. The bags are cheap. Doing 6 bags like this is wide open on this machine. It's spraying them pretty far, actually. I can see better, but it's coming out so light, wide open that I'd have to spin this handle on the left-hand side, mind you, probably 1,000,000 times to do these 6 bags of rye. So even though I'm going nice and slow just to try and put it on fairly thick, I can tell you there's no way I'm going to be out here till midnight putting 6 bags of this down. I'm about to start flinging it by hand. This is going to take so long. But just another tidbit, I already did a review on this spreader. But once again, I would still rather, I guess I bought that Earthway, and I can really throw it out a lot with that Earthway wide open. If you can hear it, and it works pretty good. But for now, this is what I'm working with. Oh yeah, the other stuff on the ground there, it wasn't clover. I forgot. I couldn't get that other blend I wanted in time from Jeff, so I just kind of made it. But he has the brassica and then the perennial clover that also has a little alfalfa and chicory in it. So I kind of just did it myself for that part. And so it's alfalfa. I don't think any clover. So that's the stuff. And the brassica will be a nice kind of cover for that to get established. So I wanted to mention that, especially for any of you trolls that want to call me out. Turkey feathers. See the deer really clawing up in the sand and whatnot. Even brought, might be hickory nuts out here. Nice switchgrass here bordering the field, one of our main concepts. Looking pretty dang good. Part of the patience game. Probably took 2 to 3 years to really get looking that thick in an area where the soil isn't that great. And then I had a mock straight on that tree overhanging. It had fallen. I haven't put it back up. I should, because it works nice, but it's almost too close to the tripod, to be honest. Rather have them just out in this food. Give me a shot opportunity. Excited for this little plot here, though. Hopefully bring you some good footage in the season. Now, I would ideally time this before a rain, but being that we're about 2 weeks out from the season, I'm just going to get it down now. It'll last a couple weeks. Rye grows, almost down to freezing temps, so not too worried about it. I'd rather do it now than wait till right before the season and go walk through my plot. So you can also see maybe back there, back in the corner. You can see some of the cuttings. Maybe not, but they're probably, like I was saying, 6-7 feet tall at the tips. So you gotta check these other ones out over here. Look at those suckers. This is tall switchgrass here. Those are probably 10 feet plus. Same thing, first year cuttings from big rock trees. I'll have to send a picture over to Tom and Seth. Hopefully those stay up.